I'm 100% a flat pedals for life mountain biker. I've always ran flats. I'm probably always going to run flat. For me in my day-to-day trail riding, I very much prefer the freedom that you have running flat pedals. Your flat pedal experience is obviously going to be dictated by the type of pedals that you ride and the type of shoes that you wear. So I want to compare two common platform pedal shoes, the 510 Freerider with the Giro Jacket II. The 510 Freerider is arguably one of the most popular and one of the most well-rated platform pedal shoes. The Jacket 2s, I got a really smoking deal on these, plus I absolutely love the aesthetics, and I'm hoping that they give the 510s a run for their money because they are a little bit less expensive. You do not want to use a hiking shoe or a running shoe that has a lot of ridges and grooves that are great for getting traction on the trail. It leaves a lot of room for gaps when you're trying to make contact with the pedals, and so you want to have a very flat profile. If you can see here, there is certainly a very flat profile on both of these. They have just enough tread to be able to grip the pins, and yet not enough to be able to inhibit the pins from making good contact. Also, the technology that goes in the sole makes a big difference. With a good flat pedal shoe, there will be a healthy blend of grip and durability. You want to have a shoe that is comfortable. If you're like me and you like to spend hours on your bike, you do not want to be thinking about an uncomfortable shoe. Face chesters, and you see these pins. They're very tiny pins. They're darn near sharp, and certainly when you are pressing this into that soft rubber time and time again, there's got to be some technology that went into this stealth rubber to be able to take that beating time and time again, which is the exact pedal that's been ran on these shoes. Again, my wife's 510 Freeriders that are literally over 4 years old, and these are holding up really well. They'll look rough, but there's no actual functional deficit here. Certainly there's some breakdown in the area of the pedals. There's nothing that's actually going through the sole or that would even create a leak if you poured water over these. And so the technology in the rubber on the 510s is really good. And a Vibrant sole is a tried and true sole. I'm not going to be the best person to give you a long-term review on these. So if you have used a set of the Jacket 2s, definitely leave in the comments below your long-term impressions just to let people know how these hold up. Personal ding that I would make against the 510s is the ridiculously long shoelaces that always seem to come with these. My wife's, again, seem to deal with the same exact, it goes way out of the camera. It's a cold day, it's 45 degrees outside. It's a little bit damp, and so I feel like it'll be a prime day to be able to give you some good comparisons on which one of these grip better. I'm actually coming out to my local jump line today so that we can get a good side-by-side comparison. So one more run on the 510 Freeriders. I'm hoping to really get this line dialed. A little bit harder charging line. Never once worrying about the placement of my feet or the lack of traction. Just a solid combo. 510 Freeriders coupled with the one-up components composite pedal. Got the Jacket 2s good and muddy, got the pedals good and muddy. Run number 3. So there was a time on that run where I kind of lost my footing. Yeah, I don't know. My initial impressions after a few runs on these is that the grip is just a little bit less. So run number 4 on the Giro Jackets. Still just have a general sense that the grip is not quite as good on these. And it might actually be the fact that just the sole is harder. And you have the sensation that you can feel the pedal less. And for me, I don't prefer that. There are people out there
they would 10 to 1 rather have a firmer sole for the sake of power distribution. I don't think I'm one of those people. I think I prefer a little bit thinner sole to be able to feel the pedal and the bike a little better underneath you. This is run number 5 on the Giro Jacket IIs. Okay, I think I've been on enough runs to know, though I'm starting to get used to the firmer feel of these, I still like those 510s awfully well. Just like being able to feel the pedals a little better. I'm gonna put the 510 back onto my right foot. I'm gonna leave the Giro Jacket II on my left foot. We're just gonna see if I can tell a more noticeable difference while wearing one on each foot. You can just tell while trying to adjust your foot, getting started out, the 510 is definitely stickier when I've got them on at the same time. Right here, I'm trying to basically pivot the shoes on the bike. I pretty much can't get the 510 to pivot. They stick really well. And that's not to say that you can't make a quick adjustments, but you're just gonna be less likely to slide around on the 510s, whereas there's definitely a noticeable increase in the ability to kind of slide around on the pins on the Giros.
So I've been out all day today, which is a pretty awesome day, basically testing out which platform pedals that I think perform better, but also, and maybe more importantly, which flat pedal mountain bike shoe performs the best between these Giro Jacket IIs and the tried and true 510 Freeriders. For me, this is a no contest. This is a pretty good shoe, certainly. If you're on an all-out budget and this is all you can swing, get this shoe. You will still notice a big improvement in the performance of these on flat pedals in comparison to hiking shoes, tennis shoes, whatever. If you can swing it, for me personally, I much prefer the 510s. I just think that the overall feel on the bike is much, much better with the 510s, but also just the straight grip on the sole. I just find it to be much stickier, much tackier. You can actually get a pretty decent little pull on the upstroke for climbing and just general cross-country riding. But then when the going gets rough, I like being able to feel the pedal, but also have good grip into the pedal. And so some will say that the platform being solid on these is their preferred option. And by all means, if you prioritize power transfer to the bike, maybe there's a nod in the direction toward these. But for me, I much prefer the feel into the pedal. These are not soft soles by any stretch of the imagination. I've never noticed wishing that I could get a firmer sole because I can't transfer enough power, but certainly these are a little bit stiffer. And so again, if that is your priority, check these out. So the aesthetics, I actually prefer the look of these better. I wish that we could see more 510s that have more of this neutral look, and even the gum sole I think is really nice on these. Also, cost. These are currently on sale on backcountry.com for $67. And so that's definitely worth taking into consideration. If you're on a hard budget, put these on your radar. Again, I definitely think these are gonna be a big improvement over a skate shoe or tennis shoe or a hiking shoe or something of that nature. But just for all around performance, aesthetics aside, I don't hate the look of these. And I really, really like the way that they feel, both just the security around my foot, but also the grip on the pedal and the way that you're able to feel the flat pedal. Regardless, I think both are reasonable options, but these are just so tried and true, it's going to be hard to go wrong with these. Thanks for watching. Get yourself a proper set of flat mountain biking shoes and it will make a huge difference.